This is absolutely shocking. Just when we thought Yandy Smith Harris and Mendeecees were enjoying a peaceful getaway in Mexico, things took a dramatic turn. So dramatic that it landed Mendeecees in handcuffs. Yes, you heard that right. What was supposed to be a relaxing trip with their fellow cast members turned into an all-out brawl, leaving fans in utter disbelief. Eyewitnesses claimed that tensions had been brewing for days, but no one expected it to explode the way it did. One moment, Mendeecees was spotted laughing and vibing with the group, and the next, pure chaos erupted. A heated argument quickly spiraled into a violent altercation, and before anyone could intervene, fists were flying. But the most shocking part? Local authorities wasted no time stepping in, and Mendeecees was taken away in handcuffs right in front of Yandy. The big question now is, what led to this massive fallout? Who was the cast member involved? And most importantly, what happens next for Mendeecees? Stay tuned because we have all the details, exclusive insider reactions, and never-before-heard information about this jaw-dropping arrest. Mexico, sun-drenched beaches, luxurious resorts, and breathtaking ocean views. Everything seemed perfect as Yandy Smith Harris, Mendeecees, and a few fellow cast members arrived for what was supposed to be a much-needed getaway. The trip was meant to be a mix of business and pleasure, with some filming and a lot of relaxation. Fans had been watching closely, excited to see their favorite couple enjoying life away from drama and chaos. At first, everything appeared smooth. Yandy, glowing in a stylish white summer dress, was spotted lounging by the pool, sipping cocktails with the ladies. Mendeecees, on the other hand, was laughing and chatting with the guys at the resort's private bar. The atmosphere was light, with music playing and drinks flowing. For a while, it seemed like they were all finally getting a moment of peace. But behind the scenes, tensions were already brewing, and the seeds of conflict had been planted. Eyewitnesses say the first signs of trouble appeared earlier that afternoon, when Mendeecees got into a heated conversation with a certain cast member, a man whose name is being kept under wraps for now. The exchange wasn't immediately explosive, but those who were close enough to hear it say it was filled with tension. Voices were low, but body language was sharp, with Mendeecees looking visibly irritated. At one point, Yandy was even seen stepping in, placing a hand on Mendeecees' arm as if to calm him down, but it didn't seem to help. Insiders claim the argument stemmed from a remark made about Mendeecees' past legal troubles, an issue that has always been a sore subject for him. Mendeecees took it personally, one source revealed. He felt like it wasn't just a joke. It was a dig at his manhood, his growth, and everything he had been through. Though the initial argument ended without a physical altercation, it was clear that the issue hadn't been put to rest. Mendeecees was seen pacing around the resort later, shaking his head and talking to himself, clearly trying to calm his frustration. Then came dinner, an exclusive high-end beachfront restaurant with an open-air dining area, the perfect place for a relaxing meal. The cast arrived in good spirits, or at least that's how it seemed on the surface. Yandy and Mendeecees sat at one end of the long table, while other cast members spread out, chatting and laughing as drinks were poured and plates were set. But the calm was deceiving. Just as the entrees arrived, the tension that had been simmering all day finally exploded. It started with a simple back and forth. A few words exchanged between Mendeecees and the same cast member he had argued with earlier. The topic? Once again, his past. The cast member, emboldened by alcohol and the relaxed atmosphere, made another slick remark. Something about how, once a hustler, always a hustler. Mendeecees froze mid-bite. He put his fork down slowly, his jaw tightening. "What did you just say?" The table fell silent. Yandy's eyes darted between the two men, instantly sensing where this was heading. "Come on, let's not do this right now," she said softly, placing a hand on Mendeecees' forearm. But it was too late. The cast member smirked, leaning back in his chair, unfazed. "I'm just saying, some people don't really change. They just learn how to hide it better." Mendeecees pushed his chair back, standing up. His voice was dangerously low, the kind of calm that comes before a storm. "You got one more time to come at me like that." At this point, everyone at the table was holding their breath. Security guards stationed nearby took a few cautious steps closer, sensing that things were about to take a turn for the worse. But instead of backing down, the cast member scoffed. "Or what? You gonna do something? Show everyone here exactly who you really are?" That was it. That was the moment everything exploded. Before anyone could react, Mendeecees lunged forward, flipping the table in the process. Plates shattered, glasses fell to the ground, and silverware clattered against the wooden deck. Gasps filled the air as the cast scrambled back, knocking over chairs in their attempt to move away from the fight. Mendeecees' fist connected with the cast member's face, sending him stumbling back into another table. The man recovered quickly, throwing a punch of his own, catching Mendeecees in the jaw. Yandy screamed, "Stop, Mendeecees, stop!" But it was too late. The two men were locked in a full-fledged brawl, swinging wildly at each other. Security rushed in, trying to separate them, but Mendeecees was seeing red. He shoved one of the security guards aside and tackled the cast member to the ground, landing another punch to his ribs. Finally, with the help of multiple security guards, the two men were pried apart. Mendeecees' face was filled with rage, his chest heaving as he glared at his opponent, who was now wiping blood from his split lip. Just as the dust seemed to settle, just as everyone thought the worst was over, the sound of sirens pierced through the night. Moments later, flashing red and blue lights flooded the restaurant's entrance. The police had arrived. As officers stepped in, speaking rapidly in Spanish, the restaurant staff rushed to meet them, pointing at the wreckage of overturned tables, broken glasses, and the two men at the center of it all. Yandy snapped out of her daze and rushed to Mendeecees' side. "We have to go," she whispered urgently, her hands trembling. "We can't stay here. The police." But Mendeecees wasn't listening. His gaze was locked on the cast member, who was still glaring at him, smirking as if he had won something by letting things get this far. Before Mendeecees could react, several officers surrounded him, speaking loudly and pointing at him. One of the officers raised his handcuffs, clearly preparing to arrest him. Yandy immediately jumped in front of Mendeecees. Wait, he was just defending himself," she pleaded, but the officers weren't swayed. The translator stepped in. "They're saying he's under arrest for assault." And just like that, Mendeecees was taken away in handcuffs, right in front of Yandy.